Welcome back, guys and gals, to the Barry Charles Footy Show, your one-stop shop for everything rugby league. How has it been out there? Yes, we're getting close again to New South Wales selection for Game 2. And I'm here to give you my team if I was going to go to Suncorp to try and nail down the victory, as Brad Fittler needs to change his team if he wants to break tradition that a team has never won Game 2 in Suncorp and gone on to win the third game in Origin history for New South Wales. Can this team get it done? Let's talk about it right here and what I think I would do if I was selecting the team here, right here at Barry Charles Footy Show. Remember to like and subscribe if you love this video. Let's get to it. First of all, the fullback. Yes, we have the incumbent James Tedesco, who has played pretty good football for a long time for New South Wales, and he's the Australian captain, just won a World Cup. And he didn't have his greatest game. He obviously led in a couple of tries. He couldn't get Selwyn Cobbo, and he slipped over when Hamiso went through, when Nico Hines making the missed tackle. So a couple of things that really wasn't good for Tedesco, and not passing the ball obviously to Addo Carr. The one question on Tedesco's game, which is clearly not his game, is that he's not really a ball player. Like the other side of the field, Reece Walsh is the total opposite, and James Tedesco is more of a hit-up merchant. So let's have a look at who could replace James Tedesco if we were going to pick another person in the position. We have Dylan Edwards. Obviously, Dylan Edwards is similar. It's pretty much the carbon copy of James Tedesco. And if James Tedesco wasn't there, more than likely Dylan Edwards could be next on the list to be selected. Playing very good, consistent footy, but again, his ball playing is again not that great. And do New South Wales need a ball playing fullback? Which the next player has it in bucket loads. Latrell Mitchell. Yes, indeed. Is he the New South Wales fullback that they need? He has been the most informed fullback all season long, and his combination with Cody Walker and a few other players has been dynamite in 2023. And maybe he is the answer at the back. The only questions you have over Latrell Mitchell is clearly fitness, but then again, he doesn't need to have all those involvements if he's doing enough setups in the game to win the game. That's all that matters. And also is that he can go in and out of games, and he's not there in the big games. In last year's preliminary final, he went missing. Absolutely missing for the Rabbitohs. When they needed him the most, he was not there at all. And that is the part of his game he needs to go to be the next level of superstar, because he could be one of the greatest players of all time. It's up to him to get to that level. Yes, so it'll be interesting to see if he plays this week, Latrell Mitchell. Other players that can play the position, obviously Tommy Turbo, no doubt about it, the fastest man in the league. But unfortunately, he's playing on one leg at the moment, and there's really question marks over his fitness. Is he really playing well? He needs to be roaming around the field. He didn't do that in game one, not enough. So just question marks over all his confidence at the moment for Turbo. And the fact that he is not going to play the game since the last Origin is going to be a big question mark, and a big question mark to pick a player like that. But he's definitely got talent. And I've put another person here that could potentially be a fullback. It's not going to happen though, but Nico Hines. He played unbelievable at fullback when he was at the Melbourne Storm. If you got short-term memory, he kept Ryan Papenhuyzen out of the starting team, and he had to be on the bench. And if you look at it now, I think they wish they kept Nico Hines instead of Ryan Papenhuyzen, even though the poor fellow with the injury. Let's hope he comes back. Really, let's hope Ryan Papenhuyzen comes back. Would love to see him back playing footy. Yes, because really, to me, we need to deliver here for New South Wales. Who do we pick? Who's going to come up with the killer blow that's going to make New South Wales scared? So, Who's it going to be? Who do we pick in the fullback? I believe the one we got to pick is Latrell Mitchell. Yes, folks, Latrell Mitchell is New South Wales #1. To me, he's the one you got to pick. If you want to win the big game, you need someone who can come up with the big play, and Latrell Mitchell is the big game player. Yes, there's question marks that goes in and out of games, but virtually every New South Wales game he's played, he's been one of the best on field. So he won't let you down. Although I suggest Tedesco will still be named #1 by Brad Fittler. Now let's look at the wingers. The incumbents, Brian To'o, who's definitely a meter eater, but not that much in attack, and Josh Adokar, who probably had his worst game in the New South Wales jumper. But to be fair, they were attacking down the other side a lot, but he had to come up with a few defensive errors. Although he sort of bounced back against this game for the Bulldogs with a couple of tries. But again, defensively he was let down, and I think he was too focused on a player being injured, and which is not a bad thing, but he let him the try because he focused on that instead of getting back to defend. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong about protecting your player, but it cost him a try in the end of the day. His lack of fitness is another question mark, but you know Josh Adokar at his best is the best winger in the game. So Josh Adokar definitely can play a lot better. Who else is in contention? Obviously Campbell Graham. Been playing centre mostly, but he's played wing for Australia and was one of the better ones for Australia. He deserves to be in the team. He's played so well. He should have been selected in game 1. He got dropped because of a sternum injury, but I think he could have played and he would have ended up playing. But Stephen Crichton was the lucky one to get the game time. But very much unlucky Campbell Graham. And will he get selected this time? It's going to be interesting to see. Tommy Turbo. To me, he could be the right play on the wing. I think for him to go roaming around the field. Obviously, it'll be a question mark whether he can defend there, but I've got faith he can do that. And he could play like Jared Hayne, and maybe he can bounce back to form with this. Another person they could look at, I doubt that they will look at it, but if a few injuries come here, Alex Johnson. Very good player, Alex Johnson. Very, very good. I think he would deserve a spot as he is the third leading try scorer, and he's about to go up past Steve Menzies. And last but not least is Ken Irvine. Can he get there? It's been a record that's been held for a very long time, and he's looking to break it. What is it with the Rabbitohs finding all these try scorers with Nathan Merritt as well? Yes, this is going to be an interesting selection for me on the wing. I have dropped one of the incumbents, Brian To'o, and I've put in Josh Adokar. I've swapped him back over to the left wing where he belongs. That's where he should be playing. I think that's the problem. He struggled on the right wing because he's not really a right wing. He normally plays on left wing. And putting him there, I think, will deliver what they need. And on the other wing, I've gone for the lightning Tommy Turbo because you cannot coach speed, and they got speed to burn. And Tommy Turbo could turn up a man of a match performance if picked for New South Wales, if they are to win this game. I feel speed is very important, and we saw what happened with the hammer. They need to counteract that big time. Speaking of the hammer, who's going to defend against the hammer this time? Well, of course, there's you've got the incumbents in terms of game 1. We've got Stephen Crichton, who's been very solid in most of his Origin games, but whether he can go to their next level. Obviously, Tommy Turbo would have been as a chance for centre, but I picked him at the wing. Same with Latrell Mitchell. But other ones available that could get picked here, you got Tony Staggs. He's obviously been a bit hit or miss. He disappointed in his Origin game, and maybe that's the only Origin he ever gets to play. But he's been a little bit too inconsistent, but was very good for the Broncos last week. Campbell Graham, busting to get an Origin jersey. Surely this is his time. But if they're going to pick Tedesco at fullback, it might not be his time, unfortunately. But with my selections here, other people you can pick, obviously Matt Burton. A lot of talk about him being the number 14, but I feel he's better than that, and that's why my selections for this one is going to be a bit of a shock. But I think the connection between Addo-Carr and Matt Burton says to me they got to be picked on the same side. And then sometimes Matt Burton can put that bomb up for Addo-Carr to score a try. Beauty. So Matt Burton there, and on the other side, I think Campbell Graham hits his time. He deserves his opportunity. But more than likely, Crichton and Toho might still get picked on one side. I'm not sure what they're going to do there. But if I was picking the team, this is what I'd be doing. Turbo on the wing with Campbell Graham outside him to tackle the hammer. Yes, indeed. Now, let's have a look at one of the big selection coups here. With these selections, obviously, what I'm leaving out Toho and Crichton, there is only going to be one Penrith player to make this team, and you can see why with my next couple of selections here at the 6 and 7. Yes, the 6 and 7, New South Wales need a Cameron Munster. Jerome Luai, who's technically similar to Cameron Munster but not to his level, is the incumbent. And obviously Nathan Cleary out makes big changes can happen here. So yeah, Luai can definitely play there. Matt Burton could play 6, but he's already been picked in my squad. Nicho Hynes could play 6 or 7. And probably deserves to get the number 7 jersey, to be fair. But there is question marks whether he can deliver in big games as well. And that is a concern for me as well. You got Cody Walker, who can only play 6. But definitely he is, with him and Latrell, is that the connection the New South Wales need, which can bring Adam Reynolds into play with his kicking game, silky kicking game. Just that steady ship like a Cherry Evans, maybe better than Cherry Evans possibly. But then you also got to look at someone like Luke Keary and Mitchell Moses, both seasoned professionals, and will not be mistaken in a 6 or 7 jersey, or either of them. For me, though, I had to go with the Rabbitohs pairing, or former Rabbitohs pairing, Cody Walker and Adam Reynolds. I just think Cody Walker has been the most instinctive number 6, the best number 6 all year. You pick him, Adam Reynolds, he will just kick, and he loves the Suncorp Stadium, and he knows the Broncos players inside out. I think that's where your selection comes there. And yes, I know there's just shocks for leaving some of these people out, but this is the way I'm going. If we're looking at the prop rotation, the way I'm doing it, I'm just going to go, this is where we're at. We got Tavita Pangai Jr. and Payne Haas are the incumbents. But I'm changing the selection. This is who I'm going for. Junior Polo was outstanding. He needs to start. They need grit. And another one that has grit that was playing second row, Tyson Frizzell moves to 10 for me. I think you just need some hard edges. Start the game as you want to win and go boom, boom, big hits, big tick. That's what these two players can bring. And obviously, number 9 at hooker, there's really only 2 selections for me. Api Coruscant or Damien Cook. And because I've picked these other Rabbitohs, no doubt Damien Cook's your number 9, and I think he's got a better running game than Api. But both of them are great players, and they both will do a great job at 9. But just because of that connection, I've put Cook in. Now the second row, Hudson Young and Tyson Frizzell's been moved to prop for me. Hudson Young is going to be dropped completely. I don't think he did enough in his game to warrant selection again. And I think Liam Martin and Cameron Murray, who are two of the best for New South Wales, boom, they're on, they start. That's your second row. Now this is the controversy one. Isaiah Yeo is gone. I'm gonna say he's going to be picked, but I think he's gone. His Penrith style does not suit New South Wales. If he changes his game and runs hard, he'll play well, and no doubt about it. He will play well for the second game. I think they'll just change how he plays. But if I was going to make a bit of a bold selection here and go all-out attack, number 13, Nicho Hynes. Yes, Nicho Hynes is in the team. He deserves to be in this New South Wales team. If he was Queensland, he would be the number 7. Put it this way. Queensland, they haven't got much options. Daly Cherry Evans, being a great player, but I tell you what, Nicho Hynes all day. So Nicho Hynes, I think he just brings so much, and he can just be a roaming commission. Let him do his thing, and he will definitely. And if there's injuries, he can just go in there. If they're not performing, he can just go slot into the halves, no problem at all. Now, looking at the bench, there's a whole lot of players you could bring on here. You got Kolomatangi, you got Spencer Leo, you got Olakawatu, you got so many Stefano, you got Daniel Safiti. The list goes on and on and on. But what I wanted to bring was impact. Yes, I wanted impact. So Payne Haas and David Clemmer makes a return for me. I don't even know why he's been dropped. It was a bit like Steve Menzies in the past. He got dropped too early. This is why they lose these games. David Clemmer is an origin player. Put him in there. He will be that grunt you need up the middle. And talking about a bit of side selections, I've gone a little bit side selections here, but come on, we've got to make a bit of talking points here. My number 14, the Warrior. Yes, Dylan Walker, back in the New South Wales fold. He is the Reuben Cotter for New South Wales. People are not talking about him, but Dylan Walker, put him at 14, he can do a job. And if need be, he can play centre, he can play number 6, he can play front row, lock, doesn't matter. He will go and dig hard for you. And my number 17, I'm going to go with another utility. And he's been in the team, and he was in the team for game 1. The incumbent, the New South Wales Australian captain, James Tedesco. I will change his role. He will come on 20 minutes or so, maybe give Nico Hines a rest if he's not defending well. Boom, comes in, up the middle, and does the same thing. And for 80 minutes, they have an extra ball-playing lock. This is where New South Wales can get it done. And I think if they go all-out attack, they can absolutely pull off the upset of the century. Will it happen? I doubt they'll do any of these sort of selections. But they got to go big. They got to go big. For the Queensland side, there's not going to be much change. Obviously, only Toby Gilbert and Jai Arrow at this stage, unless there's some injuries. But Felice Kafusi goes straight into the starting side, no doubt about it. And the bench, you can pick out probably Jeremiah Nano will get the pick, or Kurt Gabriel. And there'll be other ones you can pick as well, but pretty simple for Queensland. And obviously Dane Gagai and Kalen Ponga are in with a grin. What if you think my tips are different and you think they're crazy, and leave a comment. Put your New South Wales team together. Let me know. I really think Queensland are on a chance of getting a clean sweep. But if New South Wales go big and bold, they might be able to push over the boil over. Just to give you a little bit of context, if New South Wales had a B team to play, it would be very good as well. Dylan Edwards, Alex Johnson, Katoni Staggs, Stephen Crichton, Brian Tohol, Jerome Luai, Mitchell Moses in the halves, Regan Kimball-Gallard, Api Coruscant, Dale Finucane, then Keon Matangi, Olakawatu, Isaiah Yeo, on the bench, Reece Robson, Spencer Leniu, Angus Crichton, Daniel Safiti, whoever you want to put in here, with Tavita Pangai Jr. And there's a whole other list. You could probably name a third team and they'll still be very good. And that shows you how much selection the New South Wales have got. That they could pick a second team and they'll be just about as good as the top team. But at the end of the day, they're going to need a miracle to beat Queensland. Queenslander! Let me know how you think of the team. And let me comment in the comments. And I will report back to you. Have a great day out there. And rugby league is the greatest game of all.